Road walking, road walking. Looking down on Big Pocket. Okay, we've made it up now to Cleft Arch. Look at that guy. Ouch. I just sideswiped a cactus. Sun's coming back out. Hey there, I'm Jamal Green and welcome to Across Utah 2025. I am right outside Canyonlands National Park after just finishing a leisurely 5 days through the Needles and up Salt Creek. But the adventure is not over. From here, we're going to go up to Cathedral Butte, over to Lavender Canyon, and then all the way back, exploring a new way. All right, here we go. Okay, like I said, it's already day 6 of this hike. Looking up over here, let me turn around the camera. Looking up to Cathedral Butte. That is where we're going, and we have a cache waiting for us up there. But as is the way I like to do it, I'm not doing it the easy way. I'm not taking the traditional route. Instead, I'm gonna follow this old pack route, the Bright Angel Trail, and head over towards Beef Basin, and then loop back. I'm not going all the way to Beef Basin, but I really just wanted to check this route out as a connector for any future hikes connecting to Beef Basin. So here we go, let's check it out. So I've stayed at a lot of the designated backcountry sites in Canyonlands on this trip, and they're very nice, but also they are kind of stinky, which is a shame. And, you know, that's partially from just overuse, but also as a public service announcement, get away to pee. Don't pee right at the camp. Just imagine that there's probably an average of 2 people staying at that campsite every night for like 8 months out of the year. If everybody pees right at one of the adjacent bushes, yeah, it's gonna stink. So yeah, as a PSA, just take like a 2-minute walk away from the designated campsite and do your business. And if your business includes more than just pee, yeah, walk a lot farther. In fact, at all the designated sites, you're supposed to have a wag bag now in Canyonlands, but yeah, just get away from the camps. You know, just a short walk will make such a big difference, you know. Pi r squared for all you math nerds. You know, just grow that radius as much as you can and the contamination will be much less. Anyway, that's the PSA for me for today. All right, I made it up and out of the canyon. There was very little signs of a pack trail through there. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of it was just walking in the wash. But yeah, there were some rocky parts too. And then climbing out, I could kind of see a resemblance of an old trail. Now I'm up in the flats and it's slow going. There is so much cacti up here. You just got to watch every step. I'll show you. Yeah, so it's kind of hidden. I think they're young prickly pear, and there's some little barrel cactus and pincushion cactus in here. See some there. But yeah, these guys make for slow walking. I've bumped into a few already and it's not enjoyable. Okay, but we're headed that way. Actually, at some point I need to find a way to get up. I'm gonna ditch what is supposed to be the old pack route and try to get up on top of this cliff band to get to a road. Oh yeah, I can actually see the road cut there. So ideally I wanna meet it at the bottom of that hill. And that's where I'll do a U-turn and head back. Okay, I climbed up this cliff band just to make sure I could get up. Headed over this way. I didn't see any other way. Maybe there, but yeah, I just wanted to be at this higher level. Now I'm just gonna contour around and get to that road cut. Bottom should be down over there. Here we go. Looking back and see Cathedral Butte. That's where we're headed. We're just going the wrong way to get there. You know, I joked earlier, I always like to make it hard on myself. Sometimes that's true, but I really did want to check out that route for haydukers and other long distance hikers trying to connect Salt Creek to Beef Basin. On paper, it looks like the best route, the best way to go. Now knowing that there's really no trail to be found anymore and a lot of brush and cactus, I'm not sure. But still shorter, less elevation. But yeah, it's probably a harder hike. So to be determined on how I will recommend that in the future. That route would go through there. Whereas a lot of people, they'll hike all the way up to Cathedral Butte and then follow the mesa tops. Okay, but for us, we got a little bit farther to go before we can cut back. All right, yeehaw. I've made it to the road. Now to go this way, uphill. I've never been so happy to a road walk. No more watching out for crypto or cactus. Just some mindless walking for a little while. Here we go. Ooh, what a landscape out there. That's the canyon I came up over there and then got up onto this plateau and contoured around. Still farther to go. All right, up on top of the mesa now and cruising. Feels good. You can see Cathedral Butte over there. That's where we're going. Up ahead in this direction, you can see the Abajos, and they have some snow. Pretty sure that's fresh snow from the storms over the last few days. It's kind of cool to see. Probably won't last long now that we're approaching mid-May. Okay, a couple more miles will be to our cache. Road walking. Cathedral Butte's ahead. Protector of my cache. Gonna have some new food. It's gonna be good. All right, that's the thought for now. Sun going down, and we've arrived at my favorite tree. Why is it my favorite? Because it's my cache. Look at that, looks undisturbed. Vital supplies. All right, let's get it out. Definitely got a little wet. All right, that makes me happy. That's gonna load us up for 4 more days of adventure. Good eating tonight. All right, signing off for day 6. Wow, what a view. That's where we're going, all the way out there, Cathedral Point. So according to the USGS, this is Wedding Ring Arch. So who is right? Okay, I've made it out to Cathedral Point. What a view. In theory, future Jamal has already hiked from the Needles way out there all the way up Salt Creek to the very top in Cathedral Butte, which you can't see behind those trees. Future Jamal's probably enjoying some good food out of the cache right now before dropping into Lavender Canyon, which is over there. Eventually, we will follow that ridge there all the way down to drop back into Horse Canyon and complete the loop. Looking way out there, you can see Junction Butte. That's in the Island in the Sky district. It's a long ways away from here. Okay, I left Cathedral Point and I'm rounding the corner to the east, looking down on Big Pocket. And now I'm overlooking the saddle into Upper Lavender Canyon. That is eventually where future Jamal should be headed. Can't get down this way though. Have to go into a side canyon over there. This is Cedar Mesa sandstone in this area. It's very hard, impervious to erosion, which makes for these sheer cliffs. And that really limits the ways in and out of these canyons. Looking down on Lavender Canyon, you can actually see Cleft Arch out there. Right there. Looking back, you can see the Abajos, and there's Cathedral Butte. That's probably where future Jamal is relaxing and eating food out of his cache right now. Get back to hiking, future Jamal. Still got a long ways to go to finish the loop. Day 7. Morning of day 7 and looking down into Lavender Canyon. That's where we're going. Okay, that upper section was not fun. Dropping over the main cliff band, it's just really, really brushy. You have to go lateral for a ways. And now it's just kind of crazy, steep sliding down all that. I am down off the cliffs and into the branch of Lavender Canyon. Man, that was tough. Am I getting too old for this? I don't know. I don't want to admit it. Also don't like my shoes. They're not good for that kind of terrain. It was just so slow. I bent one of my trekking poles. Just, you know, it's one of those slopes that's so loose. You have to watch every step on the way down. It's not scary at any moment, but it's just very, very, very tedious. Brush and loose rocks all the way down. Anyway, I'm gonna have some food and hopefully that'll make me feel better. All right, that's the word for now. Ouch! I just sideswiped a cactus and it hurt. All the way through my boot, through my sock, into my skin. Wow. It doesn't want to come out. Wow. I may have to get the tweezers. Whew. That's crazy. A little painful. Look how long that thing was. Now I'm bleeding. All right, welcome to Lavender Canyon. Okay, we are in the main fork of Lavender now. I dropped a bag because I'm going to go up the canyon a little ways to see a few sights before returning and going down canyon. There are several arches in Lavender Canyon. First one is seen right here. Up at the very top, that's Teapot Arch. Okay, we're going that way. I can already see the other arch kind of peeking out in there. That's where we're headed. Okay, we've made it up now to where we can get a good look at Cleft Arch. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest arch in Lavender Canyon. It's pretty awesome. I've seen pictures of it. I've always wanted to be here, but this is my first time. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's bigger than I imagined. Now, we actually walked up canyon quite a bit to get past the arch to get a good look at it. There's another way on the downside canyon. I could kind of get a glimpse of it, and you can actually walk up under the arch that way. Unfortunately, my legs are running out of gas, so that's not going to happen today, but something for the future, maybe. Now, truth is, I did get a sneak peek of Cleft Arch when I was up at Cathedral Point. You can see that back behind me. I was way up there on the highest ridge when I was out putting on my cache before the hike. It doesn't quite compare to being right here underneath it, though. Here's Cleft Arch from the down canyon side, and that's the way up there. But again, no gas in the legs for me today. We still have a ways to go to where we're going to camp, so gonna keep moving. As I'm making my way down the canyon, I've spotted a few minor dwellings, but here's a really nice one. Look at that guy. Okay, still going down the canyon. Whew. Okay, I am outside Canyonlands National Park. As per my permit, I needed a night outside the park. So that's what I'm doing, all the way down Lavender. And tomorrow we'll go back in. Morning of day 8, walking back up Lavender Canyon this morning. The place on my map where I had marked the last water was bone dry. So I get the pleasure of going back like 1.5 miles to get water. I had plenty of water for camp, but I'm getting ready to set out on a very dry stretch, so I have to have the water. So I basically have an empty pack with nothing but empty water bottles. Hiking back up to the last water I saw, fill up, go back, and then continue on my way. It's what we do. It's not fun, but yeah, you gotta have the water. And on the positive side, I get to see some of these arches again with better daylight. So that'll be fun. Here we go. Water reward achieved. All right. Happy to have the water. So yeah, it's crazy. After being an intermittent creek, Lavender Creek right here just sinks into the sand. And from this point on, it's nothing but a sand trap. So this here is the last of the water. And I don't think it returns farther down canyon. And I'm really curious if it's just because it's such a dry year that this lower bend that usually has water does not. Or if maybe my information is just outdated. Because, you know, it's been pretty much a drought for the last 10 years. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to our pack and keep on the journey. Okay, we've reached the climb out point from the exit canyon. So from here, the canyon goes that way, but we're gonna climb up this gully and then get on the higher ledges to cross. I'm guessing there's a dry fall ahead. This is a known route. It's another Michael Kelsey route, popularized by Outdoor Magazine, who published a loop hike of Salt Creek and Lavender, a long time ago, 20 years ago, and has become somewhat of a popular route to do. And by popular, I mean, I don't know, half dozen people a year maybe? Oh, probably more than that, but yeah, it's still not popular by the same definition as other popular trails. I'm trying to figure out how high I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna have to get up on top of that white layer. Okay, here we go. Okay, I've climbed out of the exit canyon via that. I'm up on the ledge now, and as you can see, it's plenty big, plenty of room to walk here. Nothing scary yet. Here's the dry fall that we had to bypass. There's no water down there either. I thought about skipping the backtrack for water, just hoping to find water here. It looks muddy down there, but I don't see no water. So it's a good thing I took those 2 hours to go back and get my 7 liters of water. Okay, now we're still going up this canyon a little bit farther, and then we'll climb out for real. As soon as I recorded that bit about water, I see potholes of water on top of the dry fall. You never know. I'm glad I have it, but oh man, that was heavy in the pack. I'm gonna go check this water out. Well, my water looked better than this though. Some pretty big tanks though. It did rain a few days ago, so it's kind of hard to judge how reliable these would be. What is nice about finding bonus water though is I can make myself an energy drink and just guzzle it. Ah, yes. And afterwards I'll top off from the tank just to make sure I still have full capacity. Ah, gotta love bonus water. Okay, climbing out above the potholes. A little bit of a tricky spot here. I'm not sure. The canyon ends in another little dry fall up there that's just filled with boulders. Looks like it could probably be up climbed, but it would be a lot of work, especially with the big pack. So I came back and looks like one could get out over there, go up and get on those ledges. Looks like a few tricky steps though. I didn't go up to investigate. Instead, I'm opting for option C, which is on this left-hand side, which I think I can access by this ramp and then go all the way around, and then I'll be up high. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's weird for being, there's been a lot of cairns on this route, at least from the exit point out of the canyon, the climb up and along the ledges. But right here, I don't see any. So, don't know. I'm gonna find my way, make one of these routes work. I'm sure one will, maybe all of them. Can't tell for sure yet, but I think this is gonna work. I started along that ledge right down there. Wasn't bad, had a little bit of a pucker factor, but climbed up. I like this one better. It looked like I was gonna have to climb up anyway when I got to that corner. So yeah, this looks pretty doable. Yeah, I'm probably over documenting this at this point. Again, I'm not breaking any new ground here. This is an established route. Just not one that's very well tread. So again, I think probably you could just get up the main canyon with a little bit of boulder scrambling. But I'm liking my route, so this is good. Yeah, in hindsight, that might be the best route there. I might even see a little cairn right there. I don't know. Hopefully this is not going to bite me in the butt. We're going to see. Well, it looks like I stayed too high too long. According to the map, the exit route is over there. I was thinking it would be farther up that way. Don't exactly see how it goes up there. I mean, there's those two piles that go up. Neither one seems to touch the top though. I bet that one has an easy climb. All right, let's go over and check it out, which means I have to climb back down and then back up. Okay, climbing out. I'm stubborn. I didn't go back to the marked route. Kept going up to find my own way, and finally found a spot. I think I can do it. I think I'm almost at the rim. Had to take the pack off to climb up this series of steps. It's really not that bad. Just not something you want to do with the big pack on. And I think I'm right there to the top. Just getting to the top of this top ledge. And right over there is a cairn. So I guess I didn't find my own way again. I'm so curious to see what it's marking, because I can't imagine a lot of people do it this way when I'm presuming that other way must have been easier, but we'll see. Whew. All right, I am up. All right, I am up. Yeehaw. That's a good little climb, and I cannot believe there's a cairn right at the top. This is not the suggested route, but evidently someone else thought it was good enough to mark. All right, let's go across this plateau. Oh yeah, much easier walking now. Up on top of these flat layers. We're cruising. Relatively anyway. Yay! I am finally up to the ridgeline. Looking down into Davis Canyon over there. Ah. Okay, we're headed this way into the sun. Looking down on another fork of Davis Canyon. Oh, looking into the sun, which is too bad. There's a nice arch out there. Gaia calls it Gunsight Natural Bridge. I've never heard that name. It's definitely not a natural bridge, it's an arch. I'm walking west, which I don't like to do late in the day. Right on the edge of one of the upper forks of Davis Canyon now. Here's another look at that arch. Oh boy, the sun is terrible. There we go. Right in there. Wow, what a canyon. Sun's behind a cloud, so everything's dark now, but man, that is a good looking view. The arch again is over here. You can see it a little bit better now that the sun is out of the way. Sun's coming back out. It's gonna be bad for the eyes, but good for the views. Oh man, it's been a hard day. The water screw up to start it all off, and then climbing up that canyon was hard. It's been slow. My sleep has not been good. Walking into the sun, and my knees are still not great. I hate to admit it, but I think I'm probably gonna have to have that surgery. I was hoping to get by the natural way, because they really were feeling better. But yeah, every time I push them, I need my old knees back. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I think I'm willing to try something just to get better. Because yeah, just going up and down over boulders is really painful and slow. So I don't know. I need to get a little farther to get in the correct zone to camp, but it didn't go as far as I wanted to today, but that's kind of the same old story as before. All right, checking out for now. Bats are out. That's where I came up, right in that notch right there, and followed the rim all the way over here and around, and we continue contouring around Davis Canyon. Very nice sundown. looking over to the La Salle Mountains. Not named because the Spanish thought there was salt up there. Spanish had seen snow, so that's just a legend. Okay, we are still headed this way. Need to get around this big pyramid. The Salt Horse Zone extends up to some of these mesas, which is cool because that's where I'm permitted to camp. So let's get around this guy and be in the zone. All right, here we go. View I've wanted to see for a long time. We are above Angel Arch. I scouted ahead a little bit without the pack and I think I can do it. So here we go.